Hello everyone, welcome to the session How to Write an Effective Resume from Crafting Skills by SG Classes, Greater Noida. In this session, we discuss about how to write an effective resume. But before I start, I would like to tell you why a resume is so important, why a curriculum vitae is so important for a candidate who is searching for a job. Resume or curriculum vitae is important because that's the first thing which the employer or the HR person sees when he or she is screening your resume for a call for a PI. Now, imagine there are thousands of applicants sending thousands of resumes every day to that HR person. So, do you have a good chance to be selected? Because all of them are of same profile, they are applying for the same profile, they may be having same kind of experience, same kind of education. So how do you stand out among all those thousands of resumes? Let us see first what is a resume and how it is different from a curriculum vitae. Resume and curriculum vitae both are not an English word. So one thing, please see that while I am using this E, it is not the simple E which I type using the keyboard. It's the E which I insert using the symbol tab. This E in both caps and in both small e you get using the symbol tab. So that's one thing when you write your resume and you write the heading as resume, underline it, use this E, that makes a difference. Because most of them they do not know and they simply write RESUME. But this is not the E. So make sure that you go to the symbol tab from Microsoft Doc and you insert this E. Similarly, when you write curriculum vitae, again when you write VITAE, that E has to be from the symbol tab. Next, what is the difference between curriculum vitae and a resume? If I tell you, these days people interchange it, they use it, but little meaning of resume is for those people who have work experience, and curriculum vitae is for freshers with maybe a 1 or 2 pages. So it does not make much difference if you use curriculum vitae or if you use resume, but I wanted you to know the difference that resume is for a work experience and curriculum vitae is for a fresher. If you are a fresher, please ensure that your resume is not more than 2 pages. If you are a work experience, yes, your resume can go to 3 to 4 or even 5 pages. That's not a problem. Now, what to write in the resume? What information should be in the resume? That's very important. But before that, what the information should be there, we should also understand how the information should look. How should be the presentation of that resume? How should the visual of that resume should be? Now, there are hundreds of formats you can get when you Google it, sample resumes, and you get hundreds of samples. But which one will suit you? That depends on your requirement. A fresher would not be able to format or will not be able to use the sample of a experienced resume, experienced person. So your resume has to be according to your job requirement, your job hunt, your calibers, your skills, your education, and the kind of company you are sending your resume to. Few things which I would like to state when I say format of a resume is that format means the presentation style. Your resume should not have more than 2 font style. Please, my personal experience is that please restrict yourself in using font style not more than 2. 1, absolutely good, but in case you want to make your headings a little different from your body, then what you can do is use a different font style. My favorites are Times New Roman and Calibri. Now coming to font size, please make sure your headings are font style 14 and the whole body of the resume is done with font size 12. The margins of the resume should be evenly distributed. Go to the page setting and do the margin setting evenly from top, bottom, left and right. That gives a plain uniform look to your resume and it is more readable. Coming to the kind of things which you mention in your resume, first, the opening paragraph or the opening part of a resume. Please mention your name, bold it, underline it, because that's the thing which the HR personnel actually remembers. Also, my personal suggestion, please use a soft copy of your photograph and paste it in your soft copy of your resume. See, that's the reason why I'm telling you, because one thing which you remember of a person is the gender and his face or her face. So, when I am screening thousands of resumes from my mailbox, I will definitely not remember everybody's name, everybody's address, everybody's profile, skills and work experience, but I will definitely remember the gender and the face. So my personal suggestion, use a passport size photograph. Please use a passport size clean photograph of yours and paste it in your soft copy of your resume. In the first section, when you mention the name, also mention your contact number and your email ID. That is the two things which the HR person will require if he has to call you for a PI, or if he has to invite you for a PI through email or through a phone call. Next, coming to the body. In this body, you have to mention few things, and definitely these few things will make or break your chances of getting your interview call. First is career objective. What is career objective? Career objective is nothing but what you would like to do in next 3 years or next 1 year, and where you are looking forward for your career growth or aspirations. Simple example would be to get a job of a marketing executive in an FMCG company where I can learn and grow in my career. Simple, crisp and to the point. Also, please do not copy paste it from somewhere, because the employer or somebody who is sitting on the other side of the table taking your PI will understand that it's not your own career objective. Maybe your career objective is not too high-fi, it's not too big, it's not too prominent, it's not too fascinating, but definitely it's your career objective. So in that case, since it is your career objective, truly mention what you would like to do about your career in next 2 to 3 years. Coming to the next thing which you mention in your resume is your education. Now, education has two categories, professional and academic. In your professional education, mention your professional courses like PGDBA, MBA, MCA. In your educational qualification, mention your 10th, 12th and your graduation. When you mention your education qualification, please do not forget to mention the board, the name of the your school or university, your percentage, your year of passing, and the place from where you have done your education. Definitely, certain students of mine will ask me, what if I do not have good marks? Please do not mention if your marks are not good, but definitely mention the year of passing, the correct board, the correct university, and the place from where you have done your education. It helps the HR to segregate the resumes. Then also mention certain diplomas or certification courses if you have done. Yes, it definitely give you a good chance. For example, if it's a selection of an MBA candidate for a marketing executive job, definitely a diploma course in digital marketing will make his resume stand out. So mention those certification and diploma courses. Coming to the next section which should be there in the body is your work or professional experience. Please mention your work or professional experience in a chronological order, starting from the recent to the past. Please do not mention your work experience if they are for 2 months, 3 months. That does not give a correct image of yours. If you have been changing jobs frequently and you have not stayed in a job for more than 1 year, please do not mention it. Mention the jobs in which you have worked at least for 1 year. When you mention the work experience, write the year, the job profile, the job responsibility and any achievement. The job profile must be the name of the job, that is maybe marketing executive. Job responsibility will be those things which you handle during that job. Making sales forecast, going and meeting the clients, getting revenues for the company, submitting MIS report fortnightly. All these things will be in your job responsibility. Achievement, definitely do mention it if you have been an achiever during your past work experience or in your current work profile. Coming to voluntary activities or voluntary experiences, you should mention, because these activities, these participations gives a different dimension to your personality. They make the HR feel that this person is good in both professional and in personal domain. So an NGO activity which you have done, or an activity with a certain community courses which you have done, that helps definitely the HR to look into you in a different way than a plain candidate who has done his studies and is doing a job. So definitely mention those voluntary experiences and those activities which makes you stand out. Sports definitely is one thing which you can mention if you're a sports lover and you have been playing sports, because that helps the HR and helps you even to make yourself different from the others. Please mention your computer skills, and do not just mention computer skills. Mention what are the skills which you have. Maybe you are good in MS Office, maybe you are good in Tally, maybe you are good in Java, maybe you are good in SQL, but do mention the skill sets of computer proficiency which you have. Next, also mention the professional experience. Professional experience or association means what are the bodies with which you are associated with. Maybe you are associated with CII, or you are associated with PhD Chamber of Commerce. Do mention that in your CV or resume. It gives a different impression. Now, when I am closing my resume, I have to be very, very cautious about what are the things which I should mention. I should definitely mention again my name, my father's name, my date of birth, my marital status, my nationality, the languages I know, my correspondence address, my permanent address, my mobile number, and my place from where I am writing, and my signature. I see some people sending a hard copy without a signature. That's not acceptable. Yes, with a soft copy, either you can use digital signature, or you might leave it just writing name at the end of the resume. When you send your resume has to be backed up with a cover letter. What is cover letter? We will see in our next video from SG Classes. Till then, thank you. Goodbye.